Hi there. I really wanted to make this video today on tips for increasing your income because I know a lot of you we've been messaging and you're either having a hard time finding clients, you're not getting the financial results you want right now, you want to keep going in your business. And so I just wanted to make this presentation so that you guys know how many options there are for landing either a remote position or contract work, being able to freelance in between those times where you don't have enough clients in your business to support you full time, but you're not looking to get back into a 9 to 5 job. And I know for so many of us, leaving our 9 to 5 is like this huge decision. And we're always so fearful on what happens if I don't have enough money coming in, because as an entrepreneur, you're never guaranteed income. And so it can feel a little scary. So if you're at a 9 to 5 and considering leaving, maybe this will ease your mind around how to get income in those low client months. And if you've already left your 9 to 5 and you're like, should I be returning? I really want to work on my business. This is just another option for you. And so I wanted to make this because I know what it feels like to struggle to get clients, especially early on in your business. And I have worked a lot with my business coach on just all of the options out there and the abundance there. I used to be really fearful of losing clients, not getting enough clients, which is funny because I do lead generation. So a lot of times I am able to get the clients I need. However, sometimes there are circumstances where you need a little bit of extra money. You have a lot of discovery calls, but for some reason or another, like people are signing on later on. Another reason why you may need some extra income, but not necessarily taking on more clients, is if you are looking to make an investment in your business. At one point, I did have a couple of employees. I needed to pay them, but I didn't have enough clients. So I did do some part-time contract work. And just know that we have all been there. It's nothing to be ashamed about. And I just want to normalize the fact that the first few years business can be a struggle. And so if you're there, please know that we see you and there's so many options to keep going in a way that feels so sustainable. So I want to start off with the first thing is don't take it personally. This has nothing to do with the reflection of, can you be a business owner? Is your product or service not good enough? Like, are you doing something wrong? A lot of times it just is the longevity of building a business. Once you get in your first few clients, you start getting referrals, it does get easier. But all I'm going to say here is a lot of times you have to start from giving a lot of value, doing a lot of content, building up your audience. There's a lot of groundwork pieces that you have to work on. So if you don't see the results coming, I would say focus on giving value, keep promoting your business. It doesn't mean it's a failure at all if you don't have enough clients. It just means you're still in that building phase. So if you're there, I think what's really important is to just have some sort of backup plan to feel really stable and secure. I know that it makes me feel really stable and secure, that if I didn't get enough clients or I lost a client or whatnot, there's just an abundance of opportunities. And even if you don't utilize them, I think just knowing in the back of your mind that they are there is so, so helpful. So I'm going to start with exploring opportunities, and I'll actually take you through some of the websites that I look at and that I recommend to my clients. So first of all, I would see bookmark key resources. So as you can see at the top of my computer, all of these are actually bookmarked into my computer. So if I ever have those thoughts of scarcity, if I ever come across someone who just really needs income right away, I have these tools good and ready to go without being frustrated in that moment or feeling really stressed and being like, where are these? Like, they're in my bookmark. So even in a moment of high stress, I can find them fairly quickly. 2, let yourself ease your mind. There have been points where I've either lost a client or all of my clients that were signing on couldn't start for another month or whatnot. And so, like I said, this has really eased my mind of, if I need income, I know how to get income. And if my business falls apart, I have a plan. And it really just creates that nervous system stability that you need to endure as a business owner, even if you never utilize these resources. Just knowing that they're there provides you with such a peace of mind. Like I said, you could apply them anytime. If at any time you need more income, you can go to these resources. If something pops up in your life and you suddenly need more income, they're here. And I just want to lean into the energy of abundance here, because a lot of times in business, it can feel like lack when you're not getting the type of income you want or desire. But just know there are an abundance of opportunities here. And so anytime you're feeling that lack, just look at these resources and see what an abundance of remote work opportunities there are. And I personally always prefer remote work opportunities when these situations arise, because it does allow me to still work on my business, does allow me to still work from anywhere. And it doesn't create that weird energy where before, when I was working 9 to 5 and running a business, I would have to commute and I'd be in the office, and even if there was downtime in the office, I didn't have my personal laptop with me, so I wasn't working on my business. Where this just really allows you the flexibility. If you have a part-time job in between what you're doing, you could still be working on your business. I know some other people prefer to just get in-person jobs, like working at a coffee shop, doing DoorDash, Instacart, things like that. So if that's your preference, totally go for it. But today I'm actually just talking about remote work opportunities, because I do find it super cohesive with having a business and working remotely. They just work so well hand in hand that that's just kind of my go-to. Alrighty. And also, there is an option to go back to remote online jobs. So, like I said, doesn't have to be either I work in my business or I work in my 9 to 5 job. It could really be like so many other options out there. I used to think in black and white, so it's really hard to switch that thinking, but it did really help. Moving on to stability and growth. What I talked about a lot with my coach is finding some sort of stability point of what is the minimum income that I need per month. And what's really great about that is defining that. You could even set up a part-time job to be able to hit that minimum income level. And then from there, any money you make in your business is extra. So it really feels like that abundance in your life and there is no pressure on your business. And it might be a combination of this. Maybe you don't get everything you need from your part-time job, but you're able to make the majority of it and then really work on your business. And what I really want to emphasize here is I used to think it in terms of like polar opposites of either I run a business full time or I'm in a 9 to 5. And what I want to emphasize here that took me a lot of mindset work to figure out is it can actually be such a combination of part-time work, contract work, clients, this and that. But I think the important thing here is each day taking steps to create content or create resources for your business. So you're always moving in an upward direction there, but you're able to have some income stability too, which is important. All right. So yeah, online businesses or 9 to 5 jobs is not the only choice. There's numerous in-between options, which I'm going to show you, and just do something that's very supportive to your hopes and dreams. So again, that's kind of where I was, is the 9 to 5 just didn't feel fulfilling at all, but it supplied the income that I needed in my life, to a certain extent, right? Like it paid the bills, it paid the rent, but there was not a lot of excess income, which I did desire as an entrepreneur of like, oh, there's no cap on my income. So I could do like all of these things once I scaled to that point, which was super attractive to me. But you have that stability. Where entrepreneurship, you are really feeling like you're doing your passion and your life's work. However, it can be really hard to love that when it's hard to buy groceries, or when you miss a card payment, or when you have to sacrifice something that you love, especially if you have like a family or whatnot. So that's why it's really important to kind of have a combo of both. And I think a lot of people shy away from this topic of, oh yeah, like entrepreneurship is great and the financial abundance, and you do get there. But I think there is this in between time sometimes in building a business where, you know, you hate it a little bit because it's just not providing for your needs. And that is something that is so important to have in your life, just that financial stability. So I'm going to give you some options and show you some websites that I really love for this. So these first 4 websites up here are actually remote job boards. And before you hate on the job boards, just know that these aren't typical job boards. These are fully remote work, a lot of times in alignment with your business. So for example, I know a lot of people like to build their business on like people coming to them and setting the prices and really having that client. But you could actually use these opportunities to learn more skills about your business, maybe learn another skill about your business. But for example, let's just go into design. Let's say someone is like a graphic designer or something. There's not a lot of design jobs on here, but you could definitely keep an eye on it. But if you go over here to like customer support, for instance, customer support is always something you're going to need in your business, regardless of what you do. So even taking a customer support role temporarily, like here, customer support rep, it will help you increase your skills for your business. So that is really cool. And that's how I like to think of it, is use part-time jobs or positions just are giving you the skills you need to help run your business. So lots of customer support jobs, a lot of people are qualified for that. Sales and marketing, you need to sell your product or service. So getting into a sales role could be really cool. There's social media manager, some social media managers, maybe this is actually getting a client and you find them off of a job board. I've done that too. And then you just look at the qualification and skills. And normally what I say is if you meet the majority of them, just apply. 30,000 annual, 40 hours per week. You would have to decide if that salary matches up with the time requirement that you'd like on there. And like I said, only apply to jobs that feel really good for you, that feel really aligned in terms of how much work you're putting in and how much you're getting paid. Now, if you are looking for more of a contract job, so this isn't eating up all your time, you can look on here. English teacher, that could be really cool. I think you can make your own hours maybe. Freelance writer, chat representative for sales, brand ambassador. So just so many opportunities on here. And it feels so good to look and be like, oh, I'm qualified for a lot of these. So that feels fun. Working nomads, pretty similar to the last one. On here, I like to show this to people who maybe aren't in a very geographic location that gets a lot of people hiring. So I've had people come to me from Africa, from Latin America, being like, well, but I'm not in the US or Europe, so there's not a lot of businesses or not a lot of hiring. But I like to show people this of location. You could actually check like where you are, because it actually says where people are hiring. So this one's hiring in Latin America, European time zones, EU, India, Asia. So people are able to really see where they fit in here. So I like this location feature. Again, you could search by category, which category you want. And if there's a few, you could check a few. Position type, full-time, part-time, contract. Again, depends on what kind of income you're looking to get, as well as how much time you really want to put into something like this. Jobspresso, same deal. So save all these job boards. So it's workingnomads.com/jobs, weworkremotely.com, and jobspresso.co. Again, same deal, kind of like you're browsing jobs on here. Now, remote.co, what I find on this one is it is bigger companies. So you could find a role in like a bigger corporation if that's something you're into. Again, it really breaks it down into different places. I like this because it has remote virtual assistant jobs. Most people in like a coaching role, in a VA role, social media management, lead gen, web design. Most people can do a virtual assistant job, so this could be good side income. And again, like it shows which ones are on here. Bigger companies typically, where the other ones may be other entrepreneurs, these ones are typically bigger businesses. So I don't know if that means you would need to sign on with a W-2 or an I-9. But yeah, you could see each one individually. And then we have freelancing females. This kind of gets into freelance, contract, remote jobs. Again, same as the others, but this is more, I think, smaller businesses. So I don't think this is female specific either. That just happens to be they have a job board on freelancing females. But I like to look on here. It's updated quite frequently, as you could see. And a lot of times it's other small businesses that you can be working with if you like doing that. I personally have enjoyed this in the past. So many like graphic designer, copywriter, admin assistant, freelance editor. So it's kind of cool to keep up with this one. Upwork, as you guys may know, you can search by skills. There are longer term contracts and there's project based contracts. So this could feel really good if you're just looking for an extra $300, $400, $500, one sort of project that ends. You're not tied down to anything. I think this is great if you just need a little extra income and you know like your business is going to produce income the next month, but you just need to fill that gap. So for example, like I know Kajabi pretty well, so I could search for people looking for someone to help them with Kajabi. And what's great about this is I know people hate on Upwork because they're like, oh, they don't pay enough, but you can actually set limitations of what kind of income you can receive. And remember that the platform does take a percentage of that. So let's just say I only want to work on fixed price jobs. I'm not interested in an hourly job. You could do that too. But my fixed price, I'm looking for jobs between $100 and $500 that have to do with Kajabi. And look, there's 13 of them. Or if I want to do an hourly rate, I'm looking for an hourly rate for Kajabi that is at least $30 per hour. There's still a ton of jobs, so don't think that don't think that Upwork only pays like very minimally, because it is based off of the jobs you are seeking out, because you can use these criteria to come on here. What I would say is Upwork is really great for very specific skills. So if you are versed on a platform, if you're versed on a very specific skill like content writing, Instagram growth, anything like that, I would do that. And then you get to bid on the jobs. If someone accepts you, they'll give you an interview and then you contract through Upwork. All right, LinkedIn is the last one I'm going to show you. Most of you guys probably know about LinkedIn already. But I wouldn't discount the fact that you could find remote jobs on LinkedIn. And actually, my experience with this is a lot of times when I have interviewed for a job on LinkedIn, the people ask me about my background. And usually I'm applying for a job similar to lead gen in some sort of way. And I tell them about my business, and they're actually like willing to kind of work with that, or willing to be like, oh, okay, like, could you bring that into our company, and can kind of craft a role around what you already do. So that's just a weird little hack. But again, if you're a VA, you could look for virtual assistant jobs. And as you can see, some of them are remote, on-site, so you could see what you'd like. If you want an on-site job, you could do that. If you want a remote one, there's plenty of remote as well. Remote right there. So that is kind of the last thing I'll show you, but I hope this training was helpful. I hope that you are able to see that there are so many different options in terms of keeping your business afloat while getting the stable income that you need in those hard moments. And it just really elongates the business process, lets you have the income and the freedom so that you could keep working on your business without having to just quit, but also not suffering when your business isn't producing the results you want. So I have found this really helpful, and personally I think it's helped grow my business, because when you aren't attached to that financial outcome, you are able to make better business decisions, such as working with the right people, implementing better processes. Your energy isn't desperate. So I really recommend looking into this if you are one of those people who really needs income, but doesn't want to go back to a 9 to 5. So I hope this was really helpful. Please let me know in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, I do make so many videos around remote work, different tech platforms, lead generation, how to get clients. And I have learned all this through 2.5 years of my own experience working freelance, owning a business, working for myself. And please like this video if you think it was helpful. I do base the content that I keep creating off of what you guys like. So if you want to see more like this, please let me know. If there's any questions, put them down in the comments, and I appreciate you so much for being here. Thanks so much.